Hey guys, what's up? It's Megan and welcome back to my channel. I have Carly with me for another video. In this video, we're going to talk about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I've been diagnosed with PTSD and so has Carly, so we think that it's important to address this mental illness as well. Did something specific happen to you that caused your PTSD, or like what are you comfortable with sharing?
I'm pretty much an open book. I want this to be like a space where people can talk, and I think that's what's important about making videos like this, is just to be real so people can relate to it. I had a really tough childhood, as I'm sure a lot of people have and can relate to that. Both my parents are alcoholics, terrible divorce, in and out of homes, and just a really unstable childhood. I saw a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have seen when I was younger, and just going through like sexual abuse and stuff, not from family members. But I just want to preface this too, is that when I get uncomfortable or talk about this stuff, I like to laugh, and it's not because it's funny, it's just kind of a coping mechanism. So I don't want you to think I'm taking this lightly or making fun of it. If anything, I'm just making fun of myself, but it's a serious issue.
I laugh because I have to, because the things I've been through are so traumatic and so serious that the way that I heal is through laughter. But yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned that. Like, this is not a funny subject
so if
at
I
all.
crack jokes and stuff, it's just a coping mechanism. And I don't know if it's good or bad, but it helps me. But yeah, just like a traumatic childhood and stuff, and just little things like severe anxiety. And the funny part is I never knew I had anxiety. I just thought it was normal. I thought that's what everyone went through until she was explaining it, and I'm like, well, yeah, I definitely have that, but I thought everyone dealt with that.
I know. You kind of think everyone thinks the thoughts you think has their life is the same way. Yeah.
And being bipolar, I've had it my whole life. I was diagnosed in 2011, but I've had it my whole life. So just, this is the way I've been thinking forever. So I just thought it was the normal because I knew nothing different. But yeah, I got diagnosed with PTSD and went through cognitive behavioral therapy, which helped a lot, but it's really, really hard to go through. I mean, you can't just go in it and see if it works. You have to really put in the effort. And
so a lot of research shows that people that have bipolar disorder typically have had trauma in their past. I know that I've had a lot of trauma in my past. A specific experience that I've had that was very traumatizing for me was my best friend, when I was 23 years old, committed suicide in a very gory way, and I wasn't there and I didn't find him or anything like that, but it did give me nightmares. It really affected me. The hardest part for me was that we didn't leave things on good terms. We left things on the fact that we weren't speaking. We had gotten into an argument a couple of months before he killed himself. I've had a lot of guilt that maybe there's something that I could have done differently to not have that outcome. Again, like, I know it wasn't my fault, but you can't help but think if I would have done things differently that there would be a different outcome. Police wouldn't release the information about how he committed suicide. And so he had an attempt about 6 months before he actually took his own life, and I sort of saved him from that attempt. In a sense, I'll do a video about that later. That's a whole another story. So when he was doing his first attempt, he told me how he had planned to take his life. He was planning to overdose himself. So when he actually followed through with his suicide, I just kind of told myself that that's how he did it, even though I never really knew the truth. But about 5 months after he committed suicide, I was working at a hair salon, and one of the girls in the break room, he actually committed suicide at her sister's house. And so they were talking about him and basically revealed that he had slit his wrists in her bathtub, and I started hyperventilating and ran out of the room. There's no easy way to find out that your friend committed suicide, but that really messed me up. And I never got help for it. I never got therapy or anything like that. I just kind of stuffed it down and just like moved on with my life. And later on, that came exploding out. Is therapy like the main way that you have dealt with your PTSD, or what has helped you with that?
I don't want
time,
but I also don't want people to like take my advice. I'm obviously not a doctor or anything, so I can't yeah, tell you what to do, but therapy is fucking hard. It's really, really hard, and there'll be times where I'm like sewing in and I'm like, I'm gonna get better, and I go to therapy and I'm on time, and then there's just some days where, you know, the illness gets to you. Sometimes, I don't know for you, but for me, when I'm really depressed, I start making things up in my head like, oh, I don't really have bipolar, I'm just being lazy and I'm sad, and I don't want to burden even my therapist with my problems. So I don't even want to go. And I've gone through so many therapists that way because I'll just stop showing up. And then when I need help again, I would be too afraid to contact them because I feel like they'd be mad at me, and so I would just have to hop around to different therapists.
And it's hard when you get a new therapist because you have to re-explain your whole life story, so it can be triggering and draining. So if you guys are out there and have struggled with PTSD, Carly and I definitely know what you're going through, and you will get through it. Don't be afraid to get the help that you need, whether that be talk therapy, whether that be, you know, just letting time pass to allow yourself to heal. I think talking about it is really important. Finding trusted friends and family that won't judge you, that will just listen to you and be there for you.
It'd be hard to find those people. Search out to like online groups, like safe online groups, and that has helped me a lot in the past, for sure.
So in what ways do you think that bipolar disorder and PTSD are intertwined with each other?
I think a lot of times PTSD, not always, but a lot of it stems from childhood, and that's when your brain is growing and you're getting information and everything. So it kind of shapes the way that you think about things and the way that you live throughout the rest of your life. And unless you deal with it properly, it's always going to be with you, and there's going to be triggers from those, you know, traumatic events that you went through, and it carries on. And I think a lot of people that have bipolar disorder have those traumatic events and end up having PTSD.
If you have any questions or comments for Carly or I, we are more than welcome to help answer any questions or be a source of support. I'm gonna link my Instagram and her Instagram down below in the description. If you guys are new to this channel, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.